What's up, YouTube? We're back with another episode of What the Hell Am I Doing? Today, I'm out with Ethan and Carlo, and we just discovered this absolutely huge mansion. It was built back in 1987, and it's been sitting abandoned now for about 2 or 3 years. The place I'm talking about is this absolutely incredible looking monster here behind me. I think this one's gonna be absolutely mind-blowing. So why don't we take a quick walk around the property and then get inside and see what's left of this place. All right, guys, we're gonna start this one just outside the front of the house here on the driveway. Like I just mentioned in the introduction, this place was built way back in 1987, and it's been sitting abandoned now for about 2 to 3 years. This house is located in the middle of a 99-acre property, which was purchased by developers, and they've actually torn down all the trees. From what you can see in the drone footage there, you can see they removed all the trees, and they're gonna eventually remove this house, and all this will be replaced with a new neighborhood of insanely huge mansions, if you can believe that. Now, just to show you guys around real quick, you can kind of see the environmental wrap there going in front of the trees, but all this property here is part of this house. Like, this is all part of the same property. These people owned all this at one point in time. And like you could see in that drone footage, there's a long winding road that takes you through the trees to get out here. So at one point in time, this was an absolutely beautifully secluded location and would have been an absolutely stunning place to live. You would have been on your own. You would have had the sense of being in your own little world. Just an absolutely beautiful place. So from where we're standing here, the driveway actually wraps around in front of the house. As I zoom in there, you can see Ethan and Carlo there by the lights. So there's kind of like a wraparound there. And then the driveway follows to where we are here by the shed. It goes to a garage that's actually located underneath the house. So why don't we take a quick look at that? We'll also take a quick look and see if there's anything in this shed. And then we're gonna work our way around back and then we'll go inside. Now, like I mentioned, it is 100 acres almost, this property. So I'm not gonna spend too much time out here because obviously most of it is just flat land now. They've removed all the trees and there's really not a whole lot to see anymore. But as you see in here, there's a lot of stuff left behind. You got old furniture. You got beds, mattresses, whole bunch of interesting things left behind. Look at that table, that's quite interesting too. But yeah, all this will be forgotten about, or has been forgotten about, and will obviously be demolished when the house goes. It's a little full in there, we're not really gonna walk into it. Just wanted to show you guys real quick. But what I do wanna get into is the garage over there. So why don't we work our way over there? As we're leaving this spot here, you can see there's an old bird cage here with some fake birds. But yeah, as we work our way this way, you can see, like, it's been a while since someone's really cared for the property. Lots of debris. Everything is heavily overgrown. Look at this. Their entire front lawn, you can see some of the trees they removed there. But this entire front lawn is now just weeds. The landscaping is gone. All the beautiful features, the trees, they're gone. And what we're left with is this house here, standing in isolation. It's a really big house. It's a really typical 80s looking place so far with the brick choices and some of the design choices. I think this is gonna be a pretty cool one to check out. And as we get closer, you can see up the hill there, that's going towards the backyard. There's big stumps there, all the trees are removed. They still have their TV tower from back in the UHF days. Don't really see that anymore. Yeah, wow. This place is huge. Really big place. I like those stone walls there on each side of the garage. Or sorry, not stone, but brick. Those are quite cool. I think this is going to be quite an adventure today. Hope you guys are going to enjoy this one. You see they have a nice stone retaining wall too. All right, so we're going to work our way into the garage. See what we can see here. Oh, wow. Lots of balls. And not the kind you twisted people are thinking about. These orange balls. There's a lot of stuff in here. This is kind of crazy. Wow. It's a very big garage, one of the biggest I've ever seen. And you got an album here full of photos. That's pretty crazy. It always gets me seeing people's lives and memories just kind of forgotten like this. At one point in time, these were very important to somebody. Now they're just sitting here forgotten. Looks like they were on vacation. Wow, these people definitely lived a good life. Yeah, but wow, this garage is absolutely full of stuff. I'm not gonna go digging through it all. Obviously, there were golfers. I'm not sure what the ramps are for, if those are ramps. Got some furniture there, but look how moldy that's gotten. That's kind of crazy. Whoa, look at this old chair. Huh. Old barber chair. It's quite something to see. Of course, as we go this way, you got like a work area here. It's a nice workstation. Got a beautiful pegboard set up. Obviously, it's not too taken advantage of anymore. You can see the vacuum hose is still there. Of course, you got the door going into the house, but we'll check out the basement when we actually do the inside. And they have a really cool horseshoe. I don't know if that's a knocker or not. Let's see. It is. That's a cool horseshoe knocker. Of course, you turn around, you can just see the scope of this garage. Yeah, it looks like a simple two-car garage from outside. But there's room to park at least 6 vehicles in here with comfort. And of course, they have their central vac. All the fancy houses from the 80s would have had that. You got the furnace room in there. Not a whole lot to see, it's just the vents right there. And that goes into the house too, which we'll leave. Oh wow, these doors are solid, heavy doors, solid steel doors, probably. You got wedding photos. Absolutely wild that this is all left behind. Look at that, they even had a little kid's tricycle here. The balls are everywhere. I wonder if they had a ball pit in this place at one point in time, or if they were ball hockey players. 60-inch Samsung Smart TV. Wow. Look at that. That'd be gross if that was real. Of course, oh, look at that. They have snowshoes. Of course, you got another workbench area over here. More pegboard, not really being used. And here, I don't have the light on, unfortunately, because I started outside. But this room here is just an empty room, empty storage room. Looks like there's some electrical in there, and that's about it. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to not do the garage without the light. Hopefully you can see everything okay. I didn't think there was going to be anything of interest in here, to be honest. Kind of surprised the amount of stuff that's left behind here. I wonder if the whole house is going to be like this. But yeah, that's kind of just a quick look through here. I don't want to spend too much time looking at things because this is a huge place and I don't want to make a 6-hour video. I hope you guys understand. So let's work our way back out. Looks like we're going to cross paths with Ethan. There he is. Look at that, they even have built-in drainage. Oh, that goes quite a bit down too. Quite an interesting place so far. I think because everything is so overgrown, what we might do is try walking around the other side to get to the backyard, or maybe we'll even cut through the house. Hello, Ethan. His link will be in the description. Make sure you guys check him out. We're gonna kind of cut through this. Hopefully there's no ticks today. Take a shortcut to get to the front. You guys can see now that the front lawn is just absolutely massacred by weeds. But yeah, all the trees all the former landscaping here, it's all gone, which is quite unfortunate. You can see there's a lot of stuff scattered around too. You got the remains of a table. You got the remains of a chair. What I want to show you guys are these incredible lights here. These things are absolutely huge. They got two pedestals here with lights on them on the driveway at the opening of the walkway. And they're really huge and quite impressive. Look at those. Absolutely huge. You got a wine rack up there and everything. That's what that is. Yeah, absolutely stunning. I love those. I love how this place looks from down here. What an incredible shot that is, right? Got those beautiful pedestal lights and a walkway to this absolutely monstrous, beautiful mansion. Like, look at this place. Really incredible. Now from here, I'll kind of show you more of the property. As you can see, everything is overgrown. You got another tree removed there. All this stuff here on that side of the barrier, I guess they're going to save. But the rest of this land is going to be used to build new mansions. And you can also see a lot of the open space in the drone footage that I just showed you as well, which shows all the stumps and the area they plan on using. Wow. What a place. We'll work our way up here a bit more, see if we can show you. Imagine owning a property that's 99 acres. It's unfathomable to me. So much property, and in this case, it really pushes them so far away from civilization. It's just the most private, secluded place you could have. You can see the piles of logs out here. All that's going to be, well, all that used to be standing in this yard. It is now very empty and ready to be redeveloped. You got the water testing poles everywhere. Really big place. Obviously, you can tell from the way the shingles look, this place, they probably knew for quite some time they were going to be leaving. So they didn't bother really taking care of it anymore. Just crazy, look at this. It's almost like apocalyptic the way everything looks. Like, look at that. It's hard to believe this would have been a very beautiful property at one point in time. I mean, it's still beautiful and huge, but the way it would have been when these people lived here and cared for it would have been something to see. Again, there's a different view of this house. It's a really stunning place. Very typical 80s place in many aspects, like I mentioned already. You know, you have those brick choices. There's Carlo in the window there. Well, look, they got a nice beehive up there, or wasp nest. Lots of windows in this place. I love houses with windows like that. You know, I compliment them all the time. I'll just kind of take you guys to the top of the hill here. You can see, like, this is how far away we are from everything. Let me just zoom out there, zoom in. The road is way up there on top of that hill. It's just crazy. And this is the back side of this house here. You can see the driveway is just over there in the center of the camera, center of the screen. Look at this uprooted tree. Wow, it's absolutely wild. Yeah, you can see everything is very heavily overgrown. It's been a long time since anybody's really put any effort into this place, that's for sure. But yeah, guys, I think that's all the dilly-dallying we're gonna do out here today. I mean, it's 99 acres. I don't think all of you want to see every inch of it. You guys get the idea though. So why don't we get inside and see what we can figure out about this place. All right, guys, we're gonna start today's adventure just inside the front door here in the front foyer. I think this one's gonna absolutely blow your minds. So why don't we get right down to it and see what we can figure out about this place. Like I mentioned out front, this place was built way back in 1987. From the looks of things, it's been sitting now abandoned for about 2 or 3 years. And this place will be raised to make way for new mansions that'll be taking over this entire area. As I get into this foyer area, just want to give you guys a better perspective of what this place looks like. This is what it looks like when you come in. Immediately when you enter this house, you're greeted with this huge brass chandelier, and you've got an incredible walkway going to a grand room around the other side of the hallway there. And as you turn to your left, you got a bathroom here. Actually, it's not a bathroom, it's a powder room. And it's a really huge powder room with some really retro looking wallpaper. Just take a look at this wallpaper. It seems to be reflecting in the light, so this leads me to believe it's probably silk wallpaper. As you look around, you can see the ceilings in this floor are about 15 feet tall, which is quite impressive. I think this could be a really, really big place, just from what we're seeing already. As you can see, they have modernized some of this place. This countertop and the vanity here look to be newer. And as I open up, you can see they are newer hinges. They look like they're about early 90s hinges. Actually mid to late 90s. And in this countertop here, looks like something you'd see probably installed around, late 90s as well. So this bathroom most likely seen some renovations towards the turn of the century. But what's still here are the original wall sconces, which are kind of chandelier looking if you ask me. And of course we got to take a look. Has a brown bomber been here? No, but that's a pretty gross friggin' mess. Oh my God. So as we turn around, we go back into the foyer area. And before we get any further into the house, I just want to show you guys the walkout here. I did show you a walk around the property, but I didn't actually come up to the front porch, which is pretty modest in size. It's just a little brick interlock porch. You've got an incredible walkway down to those lights that I showed you earlier. But what I didn't show you was all the garbage and everything that's just kind of thrown around the property here. Obviously, like I said, this place has been abandoned for at least 2 to 3 years. You can see no one's been taking care of it for quite some time. But I did also have to show you guys the incredible view out here. It's just an incredible looking place. Got beautiful coining in the brickwork, which is kind of uncommon in the era that this house was built. And the doorway is very grand going into this house. Got the windows on each side, lots of light coming in. It's a beautiful entryway to the house. So as we go back in, we'll now work our way deeper. Of course, as you go in over here, you've got just a closet, nothing left behind really. You got some old boxes. It seems like they've got a lot of boxes and things left behind just from what we've already seen in the garage. So I'm expecting to see a lot more of that. You got a wall heater there, which I've mentioned in previous videos. You usually see in affluent homes. But what also is really incredible, you got this marble tiling on the floor, but they got this really interesting border tile going around too. And it looks like it's brass and stone or some kind of a stone anyways. But that's very, very neat to see. That's very cool. Again, that's the view looking out to the front. And as we turn around here, we're greeted with 3 steps up to the main hallway. We start getting into this one. So from here, we got 2 directions we can go. We can go down that way further into the house. And to my immediate right here, there's 1 door to our right. So let's go check this one out first. As we get into here, oh, wow. So this is like an office or a den. And you can see they've got a lot of stuff left behind. Like they got the desk here. Obviously they had the glass to protect the wood, but some people put things under there too, so you can always have them visible. Very neat workspace. I love this. It's a beautiful big desk. Desk has a wall section. And then of course you got the leather chair to go with it. And you've got the actual L-shaped desk by the chair. I love how they also have cabinets up here. Those are really interesting window doors. It's plastic though. It's like a red color, which is kind of neat. You can see they would have had all their filing, some paperwork, documents, maybe even they had records in there. It's quite a neat setup. Even got the drawers there. The knobs are still on them. The knob goblin hasn't been here. Yeah, this is quite a neat setup. It's quite a cool little desk. Lots of storage space for everything you would need to do. Of course, as you look around, it's a decent sized room. Lots of windows. Gotta love that. Of course, we got a couple more smart TV boxes here. You got a 56-inch, and you got a, what's this one, 50-inch. So we've got all sorts of smart TVs that were released in this house at one point. And of course, as you pan around, you got very retro striped wallpaper. You still have the original windows from '87. Those are the kind of windows they installed in these houses. And of course, I have to point out, none of the wood is painted. It's all stained and varnished. Extra beautiful. Of course, even the baseboards, which are actually taller than normal, are also stained and varnished. So that's very, very cool. I like that a lot, as you guys know. So we go this way. You got some reclinable chairs here. Actually, these look like movie theater chairs for a home movie theater because they've got the cup holders in them. It's pretty neat. And of course, you have like a suit rack there. They would have their suits hanging on that. And you go over here, and this double door is a closet. And in the closet, they got the Fire King fireproof, I guess this is like a safe storage unit. You could have important documents and things in there. As you can see, they have, you know, they got their folders. So they've obviously sorted important papers in there. And they got a very big closet in this office with lots of shelf space. They even got a pot light up there too. Take note of that. I've pointed out many times too, pot lights in this era were extremely expensive. So to see that inside a closet is kind of unreal. And as I go back to the hallway here, you can see the entire hallway's got pot lights running along the ceiling here. So this place, they definitely spared no expense. Made it as beautiful as they could. I can assume every door in this house is going to be solid oak like this. Very heavy and thick door. Gotta like that. But as you get out here, they did commit the crime of painting the trim, unfortunately. But again, they got like a hotel type of wallpaper here. And they've even got an outlet on the wall. So they probably had a TV or something hung here at one time. And actually, there it probably is. That's the remnants of a TV anyway. So pretty unusual find. Okay, and as we go down this way now, we're faced with the rest of the house. But we're going to start this room here just on the right here. And again, we got another incredibly huge room. Very grand. I assume that every room we go in, what the heck is that? Oh my God, we have an ostrich in here. That's absolutely crazy. Look at this guy. Is this for real? That's got to be one of the strangest things I've ever seen in a house before. So obviously these people had so much money. They had interesting, obscure decorations like this through their home. But as I was going to say before that thing took my breath away, it would appear that every room in this house is going to be quite large. As you can see, like, you know, as soon as we come in this one, we got a massive space. You got 3 huge windows. It's just a very large space to entertain guests. I assume this would have been like a living room or a family room type of space. Very big. Love it though. The amount of window space with that incredible view out each window makes for a really relaxing spot. Of course, I got to point out, you guys know I love my crown moldings. They have massive crown moldings running along the ceilings here. Really cool stuff. Again, the only shame in this room is that all the wood and trim has been painted, which I'm not a fan of. But they even left their chairs behind. And as we're talking here, you might hear thunder in the background. It looks like a thunderstorm's just about to start outside, which is kind of wild. So this is becoming a creepy, spooky adventure real quick. But yeah, look at the view out the window here. Well, it's kind of hard to see, but we were back there earlier, which is unbelievable. So as we go back this way, we come back towards the foyer where we started the inside of the video here. And we're going to turn right and work our way down the hallway here. Hallways are huge. The same wallpaper seems to run through the entire hallway. Right here, we got a massive closet. Wow, this is a really big closet. This closet is bigger than some of the bedrooms we've seen. But yeah, they got lots of hanging space. Got a nice double shelf setup running along. We got a newspaper here from 2017, so that's quite a long time ago. We'll see if we can date anything to see when they actually were here last. But again, they have shoe racks running along the lengths of the wall too. Very big closet, very big. And I see that it says Rodriguez versus Walters. So that's like a legal case. So I'm wondering if the people who lived here were lawyers. Of course, it looks like every door in this house is going to be that solid oak type of door. Why wouldn't they be? So as we enter back into the hallway now, we still got a couple directions to go. The first direction we're going to check here is on the right. You've got another massive room. This one is the dining room. And as you see, they've left their dining room table and all the chairs behind. It's really quite interesting to see a room left like this with everything left behind. I guess they just took their money and ran for the most part. Very interesting space. Very interesting wallpaper. I'm not a fan of wallpaper really, but I don't mind this. I mean, it's not something I would choose, but it makes for an interesting room. I'll give them that. Of course, it looks like all the windows are going to have the same style of curtains, which is very dated back to the 80s. And this window here is absolutely massive. It's a 5-section window. You've got a fake plant in the corner here. So I'm just going to show you guys it's not real. So yeah, see, it's plastic. So do not think that people just left. Not that I think this place is going to give you that impression. It's quite dirty and messed up. But this is a really incredible space here. Beautiful dining room. Obviously, this was used for those important dinners and celebrations. Of course, they have a medallion on the ceiling if they chose to have a beautiful chandelier. This case, they did not. And they even got a very retro-looking thermostat here to control the furnace. That's about something you'd see from the 80s too. Now from here, we got a couple directions we can go. We can go back to the hallway. As you see from here, you've got the stairs that run upstairs and downstairs. Obviously, we'll check out upstairs before we go downstairs, but we're not going to do either yet. And you can go that direction there, or you can go this direction here. I think we're going to go this way first because I know this takes us to the kitchen because this is the dining room. And oh boy, this is a mess. Oh, this is really, really messy, and it stinks in here too, by the way. But you got a lot of food waste all over the floor, which is what's causing the stench. It's really bad. Here they actually have like a big pantry you can walk into. You can see they have their garbage bags and all sorts of stuff left behind. They got food containers. You even have water. Wow. Coconut juice. That expired in November 2018. You know, already from the way things are looking here, I'm starting to think this house has been empty here for more than 2 or 3 years. A lot of things are starting to point to 2017, 2018 already. So from here, we can kind of go deeper into the kitchen. That will take us back to the hallway most likely. Before we really investigate the kitchen, let me just kind of show you guys this area here. So you got the windows open there, which is a really nice window in the corner of the kitchen. And you have like a mudroom in the back here. And that's exactly what this is. We'll go outside real quick. Looks like it's starting to rain. But yeah, this is the mudroom in the back. And this is kind of like the entrance to the backyard. So when we came out here earlier, we're gonna go back inside before everything gets wet. But when we were out here earlier, we kind of walked to that area over there and looked towards this. But as you can see, this is like the side patio porch area kind of coming off the garage or the kitchen, and they had the barbecue and everything out there. And this is also like a back entrance to the house in general from the yard. And I would call this probably a mudroom most likely. You know, you have another closet there, you hang your coats and everything. They do have stuff left behind. It looks like they were pet owners. And they got some barbecue related things and that kind of stuff. So as we turn around, we walk back through this disgusting mess here. We're gonna be greeted with a very messy kitchen. I bet you this fridge is probably gross, so I'll show you guys that last. But as you can see, the cabinetry in this kitchen is original to when they built the house. It has the, those hinges are actually like late 80s hinges. So now I'm thinking that bathroom we were looking at earlier was probably just fancy and had, you know, high-end late 80s inch hinges because these are all the same. But these cabinets are definitely from when they built the house. They got nice handles. They're a little bit higher end. Lots of storage in this house. We'll check this last. I'm not going to do it till we need to. But you can see this kitchen has tons of counter space. Also tons of storage. You got all that storage there. You got a little station area here where you could sit. And I'm sure if we go through these cabinets, they're all going to be empty. Yeah, they are. They're all empty. So we won't do, oh, you got a cheese shredder there. But for the most part, I don't think we're going to see much, so we won't dig too hard. But look at these. 10/24 they expire. So somebody brought the beers here at some point in the last few years. Well, that wind and the storm sounds beautiful outside, by the way. But as we get further in, you can see the kitchen is very much stuck in time. All the cabinetry, the island, everything looks very much like it's from the late 80s, early 90s, absolutely tops. You can see they had wine and everything left behind. You got the bubbly. But everything here is original still. Love these old cabinets. I think they're a pretty good look still. Of course, you got everything here. They even have a pink tile backsplash. And that looks like it's from when they originally built the house too. It's pretty neat. Of course, there they would have had their microwave at one point in time. There's really not much here. There's a microwavable tray, some cups. Those ones actually are frosty cups. Put them in the freezer and they're cold and frosty. But yeah, everything here is pretty much empty for the most part. Look at that wall unit. That's a beautiful Thermador oven. You got a double wall unit there. It's pretty neat. Of course, there's nothing anywhere. So I don't think we'll do too much digging beyond this, guys, because I don't think there's going to be much left. The kitchen also has a walkout to the backyard. Look at that beautiful stone on the step out there. It's really coming down now, but that goes straight back to where we were standing before by that tree that's torn out of the ground. I mentioned that. But yeah, it's become a very rainy day. It's a good thing we're inside. This place isn't too leaky or anything. As we go this way, the island has tons of storage. No surprise. Got a little axe on top of it, which is interesting. And a very cool looking Tiffany lamp. Wow. As you go over here, you got a beautiful rounded corner on that cabinet. I really like that. Of course, you've got more empty cabinets. These cabinets are a little taller than I'm used to as well. I got to point out, guys, this kitchen, of course, has a high ceiling like that bathroom and the rest of this floor so far. So the cabinets are taking a little bit of advantage of that, giving some extra storage room. And really interestingly enough, this kitchen would have had 2 fridges because there's space for another fridge here. But you can see everything here is pretty much original. You got the original tiling. You even have probably a paper towel holder from when they built this place. Of course, got to show you guys. They got the sink by the big window here. It's perfectly centered, so your OCD doesn't go crazy. We got a Bosch dishwasher. Yeah, this is very neat. This is for the trash. Yep. I like how they made it look like a door and a drawer and a door, but it's just the trash that pulls out. So there's some stuff in there. They got some pots and stuff left behind. And some plastic cups and junk that they probably just didn't want to take with them. Pretty interesting. I guess we'll take a look here too, see if there's any plates. Oh, wow. So they did leave a lot of their plates and cups behind, surprisingly. As they go this way, yeah, they got even their glasses, their apple cider vinegar. Well, and they got empty jars up there they probably reused. So overall, it's a very big kitchen. It kind of wraps around. It's like an L-shaped kitchen. It's one of the bigger ones I've seen with all the storage space and counter space they have in here. As you go over here, I assume all these will be empty too. Yes. Moist or crisp. I'm not sure what this is. Thermador. Is that like a bread oven or like a... You guys tell me. I have no idea what that is. I'm not rich. It looks like it's some kind of a warming oven or something like that, just to keep food warm. But yeah, there's a lot of storage here. They have some things left behind, but for the most part, everything they left behind is mostly unimportant. Of course, I got to show you guys, I love the old intercoms, especially in these 80s homes. All the fancy ones had them. This is no exception here. This one had the option for CD. Looks like none of these drawers actually work. That's to control the thing, and those are to change all the volumes and everything. So that controls all the different speakers in the house, and this is just a bass and a treble. So this unit is capable of having a CD player, which would have been very high-end at the time this house was built, but it doesn't actually have one. And as we go kind of towards where we entered the kitchen, we've got a long hallway. These stairs take you, ooh, look at that. Super moldy. I think downstairs might be disgusting now. But what I was going to say is it looks like you got a long hallway going back out to the main hall. We'll show you guys real quick. Yeah, so that looks towards where we were filming earlier. We still have to go in there. And these stairs go upstairs. So what we'll do is we'll end up working our way upstairs one way, and we'll come down these stairs last. And when we go in the basement, we'll come up these stairs last. So now we're going back into the kitchen from this angle. Really is a great kitchen. I mean, a little update and this would be perfect for most people, I would think. Before we leave the kitchen, it's time to gross everybody out. Let's see what's in the fridge. Well, it's not too bad, but there is a bag of brown trout that's it's gross. It's actually got the meat in it. It kind of smells, but it's Ziploc, so it's not too bad. Could be worse. And in here, oh, that's putrid. That's like blood or something in the freezer, and that really stinks bad. Whew. Again, look how bad the rain is. I just want to show you guys. Good thing we didn't go out there now. It's absolutely pouring. Oh, that stinks. Now that stinks. Whew. That's really bad. It's an interesting bar stool. I bet you that was for here. This would make sense to have a couple bar stools to sit at the island. Oh, look at that. That's like the huge George Foreman grill. That's probably the biggest model. Of course, we lost Big George a few months ago. Rest in peace, George Foreman. My favorite boxer and one of the most inspiring people I ever got to witness in my life. As we come out this way, we're now on the far side of the house. And it looks like this is almost another dining room. We've got a very interesting chandelier hanging from the ceiling there. I really like that. That's a nice piece. Really cool. Of course, they even left their art on the wall. These are very interesting doors. I like how they're rounded like that. Oh, they swing both ways. That's even cooler. And they lock. That's very neat. Again, fancy people have fancy things. I have to also point out once again, all the trim has been painted white. So except for the office, it seems they painted all the trim in this house, which is kind of a shame. But what I really have to show you guys are the beautiful floors in this room. The absolutely beautiful planks for the hardwood floors they use. They're different size widths, very fancy looking. Obviously these are from when they built the house. Love these floors, they're really, really nice. As we go this way, we got a back room. This is like a sunroom. Gotta show you, they have a couple brass sconces on the wall. And again, another huge window. This one's a 4-pane window. 4 sections, and it's just absolutely pouring out there. So I'm glad we did the intro when we did, or else it would have been even wetter, Explorer. Right now we're just sweaty because it's a hot day. So this is the sunroom, but it looks like it doubled as a workout room. We've got we got a treadmill, and we've got like an elliptical running machine here. Haven't used one of those in quite some time, but those are quite good. And of course, it looks like these people had lots of money, so they probably had high-end machines, probably the best money could buy at the time. These look like something you'd see at a gym or a exercise club. Really nice. And this is a really beautiful space. Look at the windows facing the south, the east, and the west. Absolutely beautiful, even with the overgrown trees and shrubbery on the side here. It's a really incredible view. The only shame is they removed all the trees from the backyard, so you guys don't get the total feel of what it would have been like to live here. At one point in time, this yard would have had absolutely incredible views and even more seclusion because they would have had a lot more tree coverage and obviously landscaping. But this is an incredible, incredible room. This to me looks like it's an add-on to the house. I could be wrong though, but it does look like it might be because just looking around this room here, you can see like the tiling in here looks a little bit more like something you'd see in the 90s. I really like how they combine the small square tiles along the exterior perimeter with the 2x2 tiles that fill out the rest of the flooring. But this is a really incredible space. Could have had weights in here. Obviously they had their machines in here. Would have been a great room to work out. Of course, this room also has a walkout to outside. I don't even think we saw this doing our walk around. But you can see it's just absolutely insane, the weather out there right now. And the overgrowth here is crazy. I mean, some of these weeds are almost to my chest, which is wild. So we'll come back in and we'll work our way further into this house now. So as we go this way, you have another family room or living room type of space. I would actually call this one the family room, and the one we were in earlier would probably be the living room. The reason being is this room has the fireplace. This seems like the room that would be more commonly used on a frequent basis, I should say. You see somebody had a fire that kind of smoked out the house a bit, which is a shame. But it's a very nice fireplace. I like the stonework with the wood mantle going around it. It's got a nice spark screen there. As I turn around, they've left their sectional couches behind, which is quite crazy, quite unbelievable. Even left their chair behind. It looks like that's silk. Of course, they got a plastic outdoor chair. Oh, look at that. Yeah, beautiful French doors with a nice arched window above them. Going out to the now overgrown yard. That gives an incredible view if you never have an intention of going out that door. And as you look over this way, an incredible wall unit. Lots of glass door storage, so you can put all your displayable items in there. And this is a dated unit. This is where you start to see that this truly is an 80s home that wasn't touched too much. This would have been the TV area, more than likely. Look at that, that's for a day school. That's from 1989. That's when they would have moved here. You got some books left behind. I was going to say this was like a TV area, and this probably would have been a unit that you could have had like a 27 to 32 inch TV. It seems a little low down here to me, but if you were to sit on those chairs, it would actually be lined up quite nicely to enjoy. But again, that's a very dated thing. Nobody has TVs that small anymore. More modern times, you'd have the TV above the fireplace instead of that portrait up there, or that painting. This is a giant room. The ceiling in this room's got to be 15, 20 feet tall almost. It's very high up there. It's got an absolutely massive crown molding. That thing is like about 1.5 feet wide from the ceiling down the wall. It's like a crown molding with a baseboard attached to it almost. It's just absolutely insane. I've never seen anything like that before. Well, that's quite neat too. Wouldn't notice that if I didn't show you guys that. But in the corner of the room here, above the arches, they have fluorescent lights, and they have them over there too. So this room would have had some really beautiful ambience with those lights on. I'll just kind of stand in the back corner here so you guys get the scope of how big this room actually is. It's just massive. Whoop, almost fall through the vent there. But yeah, it's a massive room. These couches are really wide. That footrest is like huge. And all this has been forgotten. You can see the flooring over here is a little worse for wear. It's quite worn. But it's a beautiful floor. It could easily be restored. And those magazines there from June of 1991 and, well, throughout 91, February, June, October. So a lot of this stuff is 34 years old almost, or approaching, or just past. And like I said, this place has been sitting for some time. You can see the wall is starting to decay. The seams in the drywall are broken. The paint is peeling away. You look at the baseboard, or the crown molding, you can see that's in rough shape too. The place is definitely starting to show signs of abandonment, that's for sure. And of course, a fireplace like this would have to have circulation. You got a vent there, and I'm sure if I go on this side over here, there's probably a vent here too, yep. So this would blow, oh, and then you got the intakes down there. So this thing would suck in the air through the fire and blow out the warm air to heat up the room. So this would have been a really lovely room to sit in the coldest days of winter. Would have been definitely a great spot to hang out. Of course, this brings us back to the main hallway here. Looking back to where that den was. They got a beautiful archway in the door going to the hallway, which is a feature you don't see very often, but that's very nice. Of course, as you go out here, we now are in an area that's familiar. You go left there, it takes you to the kitchen and upstairs. You go there, that takes us towards the foyer, and if we go this way, we got looks like a guest room. Whoa, look at the wallpaper in here. Floral 80s wallpaper with a matching border at the ceiling. This room seems to have about a 12-foot ceiling. It's not as high as the family room we were just in. Very stuck in time room. Right down to the decoration on the wall. The chair is pretty neat. I like that. This house has some interesting looking chairs. Those are very thick curtains. I guarantee you those are from the 80s, but they were probably very fancy and high end at the time. So this room also has a couple of large windows. And it's big enough, I believe that's a king-size bed. And it looks like the headboard velcroed to the wall there because you got a couple of Velcro pads attached to the wall. It's an interesting table or nightstand. And of course, you got another TV here. Whether it's good or not, who knows? They're pretty old, they're thick. And that's a mirror. You can see even the bedding and the pillows are still left behind, so that's pretty interesting. But again, there's a lot of decay setting in. You've got paint peeling from the ceiling. You've got the wallpaper coming off the wall. You've got all sorts of nuts and things left behind. So animals have been coming in here and storing stuff, or eating it or whatever they're doing. Got a little bit of a closet here. Nothing too huge. That doesn't work anymore, but yeah. Just a basic closet. I would assume this is like a guest room on the first floor. That's what I would assume. And as we go back this way, there's also a bathroom for this room. This is quite a large room. Again, the wallpaper, very retro looking in its design. It's an interesting towel rack there. You got the silver and the gold. Same there. You have a toilet here. Let's see if there's a mess. There's some splatter. Oh, the brown bomber was here. Oh boy. That's gross. Oof. That's breathtaking too. So here they have the mirror that used to be on the wall. Again, they got a lot of decay in here as well. This place is definitely starting to get into terrible shape. But they definitely, left some items left behind. You got the deodorant and brush. You got really gunked up and gross shaver there. Really wild. Of course, as you go this way, they have a walk-in shower, so this is a proper bathroom. Of course, if you look in the shower, you got the vintage tiling. That goes back to when they built the place. Even the shower head and the controls, those are original to when they built the house. So as you turn this way, I assume this closet here is it's just like a towel closet for the shower, like a little linen closet. And that's about that. So we'll go back to the hallway now. I think we're going to work our way upstairs. Oh, maybe not yet. No, we missed the laundry room. This is a big laundry room. Again, it's quite decayed. You're starting to get a lot of paint peel in here. The cabinetry, this isn't recycled from the kitchen, but you can see the cabinetry here is a step down from the rest of the house. You've got that more typical 80s cabinetry with the white doors and just the wood handles along the bottom. I guess they got the worst stuff for the most mechanical room on the first floor, basically. It's still not bad though. I like that shelving unit on the corner. But something of note here is the absolutely massive double sink in this laundry room. It's huge. This is about 4 feet wide, and it's quite deep too. That's a really nice sink. And they have the original Maytag washer and dryer still. Of course, those Maytags are made to last, so that's not really a surprise. But that's what these are. These go back to when they built the place. And you can see they got all sorts of light bulbs and things left behind that they don't really need to take. It's a bit interesting in the shape of the roof here. I'm not sure why it's dropped down like that. Maybe that's for the stairs in the front hallway there. You even got a support there, so that might actually be why. They left their ironing rack behind, or their ironing table. Of course, over here is just more storage, which is quite neat. And you can see a lot of their clothes are left behind. A lot of things are left behind really in this place. You got suit pants, you got carpets and rugs. This is a laundry chute from upstairs, so this drops right to the counter down here, which is quite neat. Have to walk your laundry about 3 feet in the end. What are these? They're like cards. It's pretty neat. Alteration, when's that from? 2017. Interesting. Oh, they have a closet here too. Let's take a look in there. We must look at everything, right? So in here they have a little wet vac. They got their vacuum hoses. Nothing too crazy. So we'll go back to the hallway here. Now from here, oh, that's interesting. They have a bar. Wow. This is the most unusual thing I've ever seen, but it's really cool. So in the middle of the hallway near the kitchen, They have a bar with a bar stool, and that's a really, really interesting looking bar. They have the brass foot rail and everything. You can see all the woodwork was original to when they built this house. And I'll show you what I mean. If I go this way, this takes us back to the kitchen. The fridge is right there that we just opened. The little walkout to the barbecue is right there. And that goes to the dining room that we were in. So we didn't come this way yet. But when you go this way, you've got this beautiful half door. And you've got this little bar here. And this is quite unusual. I mean, I don't know who would hang out here when they visited, who would actually sit there. I mean, if you lived here, you probably wouldn't. There's obviously going to be nothing left behind, but you can see those are the same hinges as the rest of the hinges we've seen. So this cabinetry is all original to when they built the house. And the knobs are left behind and everything. So the knob goblin hasn't been here. That's a garbage. And there's nothing in there. And they got a bar fridge here. It's very moldy, but otherwise there's nothing to drink. And they've got this really interesting, it's not a mirror, but it's kind of like a, I don't know what that is. I don't know how to describe it. You guys tell me. I guess it's a mirror, but it's like, it looks like it's cracked, distressed. The wallpaper here matches the rest of the house. You come back out here. I'm assuming this is going to be a closet here. Yep. It's a large closet too. It's bigger than some of the closets master bedrooms have. Lots of storage and shelving again, even some shoe storage. Very interesting. All right, so we've kind of covered this area quite thoroughly, so let's work our way back towards the stairs now. And from here, we can either go up or down, but we're gonna go up first. Of course, these stairs, they have a very impressive window on the landing in the middle. Really beautiful. You got the curtains running from the ceiling to the floor. And they've got hardwood stairs with the carpet runner that matches the rest of the carpet on the floor. Beautiful oak railing, spindles. Very typical of what you saw in that era. Of course, as we get to the landing here, it looks like we have a room. I'll show you the rest of the stairs first. Those go all the way up. And that's the banister up there. And this area is kind of just a lot of open space just because of the size of the rooms and how high the ceilings are on the first floor. But that is an absolutely beautiful window lighting up this area here. Really nice with some very 80s looking curtains. Does that go down further? Oh, it does too. That might even go down to the basement. So through this door here, oh, it's an attic. This isn't a room. Oh, wow. This is interesting. So this is kind of like a HVAC space too. You got a lot of ventilation here. They got another furnace up here. I guess the place is so big, they have multiple furnaces. But they got a lot of stuff left behind. They got kids' toys, hockey gear, golf stuff, heaters. Like there's just tons of things in here. But this is a bit of a wasted space for the house. I gotta say, this looks like it's gonna take away a lot of the upstairs. Look, they even have all those screens, air conditioners. Like there's a lot of boxes. It's like just been used as storage for the most part. Yeah, your Christmas stuff there. Depends. So obviously some of the elderly, there was elderly people here that needed Depends. You got an old shower door there. Of course, that would have been from when they built this place. I know that because I grew up in a house built around this time and they had the same door. But yeah, from outside, this looks like a beautiful bedroom or a beautiful space in the house, and really it's just a huge attic space. Got the nice windows though, letting in lots of light. And you see it's almost like a barnwood ceiling too. But very rudimentary up here. That's interesting too. So I think this actually is barnwood. Look at that. That's like a beam from a barn. And the wood definitely looks like the planks that would have been used on a barn. Very interesting they did that. Maybe this room was meant to be more at one point. Even this wood, look at that. Even that beam. That's an old beam that was taken from a barn or something and was repurposed here. Very strange. No one ever would have seen this. So you come up here and it's just a bunch of levels to store things. I'm not going to go too deep into this, guys, because it's not really much to see. I'll just kind of walk you through it. As you can see, there's lots of shelving up here. There's a ton of it. Got some leaks in the roof. Seeing water everywhere. That's an old air conditioner. You got some tile samples or leftovers. Looks like you have some doors they didn't use. More storage there. Again, there's another original, like, old beam from a barn there. And that's obviously from the fireplace running up to the ceiling or to the roof. So what they did is they kind of made like an upper area here, but if you go down these stairs, you get access to the furnace. And you get access to that storage over there. It looks like they actually had an alarm panel. We did see some cameras outside walking around, so that's where they actually were connected to that DVR there. But otherwise, lots of storage. Lots of storage and old wood up here, which is really wild. Down here, what's that? Oh, it's just like a naval design pillow or something. Again, you got a little sunken in area here for more storage. I almost felt the floor move under me there, so it won't stay there. And if you go up here, it's not really a ton to see. Looks like they built this room too, added a little attic space above it. That's an interesting red light up there. Yeah, there's not much in this area here, so we'll turn around and not fall. We'll go back down. I did notice that there's a little door here. What does this go to? Oh, okay. I get it now. Okay, so this takes us to the other back. This is like the back part of the upstairs. And I guess they could have had help staying in this house, or they could have had in-laws staying in this house, because these rooms would have been like for a nanny or for like a, you know, a maid or somebody that stayed in the house. And I tell you that because that's what these stairs would be. These stairs are the, these stairs. These stairs are by the kitchen. These would have been another access up here, or this could have been where the kids stayed too. You guys will tell me what you think, I'm sure. And actually looking at this table, you got a pink table here. This very well could have been a kid's room. And that's the view to the backyard again. Again, all this is 80s. This is like, oh, it's not wool, but it looks like it's supposed to be. But yeah, none of this wallpaper has changed since they built this place. You got the closet there with tons of storage. Very nice. And as you go this way, you got a little bathroom. Again, look at that. That wallpaper is very 80s as well. Wow, looks tropical only, almost. And of course, you got a shower there. That's a very 80s looking shower with that door. It's kind of a small shower. I would feel claustrophobic in there. But it's a nice shower. It's a nice tile and everything. Of course, another look out the window there. Down there would be where the barbecue is. And you got a very low toilet here. This is like a lowrider toilet. Again, the brown bomber's in here too. That one's full of crap. And these are very 80s looking cabinets. Usually these are white and they have the wood handle on the top, but these ones are just like vinyl covered, which is interesting. And that's an interesting light up there. Left their towel behind too. Yeah, so I'm assuming this is like the guest part of upstairs, like a nanny area or the kids. And I'm leaning towards kids. You got another small room here. Michelle's headboard. So this was a girl's room, I'm assuming. It's a small head, it's a single bed, so it would have been for a child. I don't think many adults would be happy sleeping in a single. Again, you got another window just covered by the overgrown trees. But yeah, this isn't a huge room, but for a kid, this would have been a perfect room, or for a guest. There's actually no closet in this room, which is kind of interesting. This headboard and everything's probably from the room with the pink table. That would be my guess. This would have been a great little guitar room too. Yeah, this is this half of upstairs. So I guess we won't be going back down these stairs, but I'll show you real quick just so you guys get the idea. So we see every inch. If you take these down, it takes us back down to the main floor. And of course, if you go there, there's the kitchen. But we're gonna go back up. I gotta point out, that's a nice, nice railing. Don't like the painted spindles though. And they're a little basic looking. But yeah, we're gonna go back up here. There's an intercom. And we're gonna go back across this here, this upstairs area here, because we gotta check the main part of upstairs. At least you can get to both parts of the upstairs by crossing through this weird attic area. You hear the pitter patter of the rain on the ceiling. Monster rock slide. Very interesting house so far. What do you guys think? If you guys are enjoying this one, please make sure you hit that like button and leave a comment afterwards about things you've seen here or things I've gotten wrong. It's always good to hear everybody's input. So as we go up the stairs to the second part of the main, well, the upstairs here, got a chute here, and that's the laundry chute going down to the laundry room we were in. And now we're upstairs. So we got two directions to go from here. First, I'll show you this window from up here. Very incredible window. It's absolutely huge, going through multiple floors. It's very wild. They got a massage chair sitting in the hallway here, and this thing's been beat to hell. Just look at it. It's obviously pleather. It's falling apart. You don't take care of that, that's what it gets like real quick. It does not like sweat. Does not really like a lot of things. But still, that would have been an expensive piece at one point in time, and they had the money to buy it. It looks like you got some video game stuff there. But yeah, let's check out this room here. So this is the first room when you come upstairs. It's a massive bedroom. It's a really big space. In most houses, this would be the master room. This one, I'm not sure. It looks like it might be a kid's room. There's a lot of toys in here. I'll kind of show you guys what's up here. You got crayons, mouse trap, a little castle. It's definitely like a boy's room. Starting to make me think the back side of the house might have been more like guest space, because why would one kid be on one side of the house and the other be over here? Maybe they didn't like each other, I don't know. You guys, tell me what you think. What was that other half of upstairs for? You come over here, you got a very rudimentary shelf with an old iPhone 4 box on it. And over here is like a desk space. This is kind of cool. This was probably a closet at one point in time, but it looks like it got converted into a desk, or maybe it was never a closet and it was like this from the beginning, because I'm noticing they got an outlet there, they got an outlet there. So this was definitely like a desk space. Happy birthday, Alex. So I guess the boy that lived up here was named Alex. That is just crazy. Again, the wallpaper is very retro looking with the plaid pattern. Even that chair looks like it's from the 80s, like it should be in an office. But yeah, this is an absolutely massive room. Really big. They got the track lighting on the ceiling. As you go this way, I guess this is a bathroom. Yes, it is. Again, it's got to be a boy's room or a kid's room up here, because more toys are in the bathroom. Look at this. Got like Hot Wheels tracks. You got 3D puzzles. Vehicle set. There's nothing in it. Knee pads and stuff like roller skating. It's just crazy. Again, you got very 80s looking wallpaper there. Most of this house has been untouched, which is unbelievable. Oh wow, the garbage is left behind. There's blood and all sorts of stuff on the floor. This is quite gross. There's no turds in the toilet though, so that's good. But yeah, their garbage is here, and you get some biohazard waste, which is not good. Again, you've got a very 80s looking vanity, very similar to the other bathroom. This one is also vinyl wrapped. There's no wood on it. Those brass faucets are very 1980s as well. Even the mirror on the wall here is pretty 80s. And I noticed this in the other room. Now I know why. I didn't realize, because there was a bedroom down there with one of these against the wall. The mirror is in the middle, and it's got like a glass border before the frame, which is brass. I'd noticed the wall downstairs was stained because of the mirror. Like it had, been stained from the sun. And now I see why. Because the mirror is in the middle and there's like a glass frame. Very interesting. And of course, you've got some very 80s looking brass lights up there as well. But even the blinds in here, like these pull across. You see blinds like this all the time, but these are like waffle texture, strange looking things that you'd only see from the 80s. And who has a double window in their bathroom? Not many people, but these guys do. Of course, they also have a heater in here. Another sign they were very well off. Homes that had those usually had money because that was the most expensive way to heat your house back in the day. Things are different now, but that's how it was. Of course, you got a very 80s looking shower here. This is an insert shower with a very 80s door. Yeah, none of this has changed. You got the original faucet and shower head, and everything in here is, very much what you would have seen from day one in this house. As you look this way, not only do we have a closet full of toys, we got a linen closet as well. You got some glow sticks left behind. That's from 2019. So we do have some newer magazines here, but I haven't seen anything newer than 2019. So that's interesting. So right now I'm placing people here about 6 years ago, June 2019. Unless those beers are from people that lived here downstairs. All right, so let's go back out to the hallway, work our way deeper into this upstairs. Unbelievable. All right, so we've got garbage on the floor here. There's definitely been signs of animals in here. A lot of this is chewed up. You can see like that paper and everything's chewed up. So mice have been in it. So from here, we got a bathroom there. We got a closet here. This closet's actually been mostly taken apart. We even have the fuse blocks or the circuit breaker in the closet, which is interesting. But they've taken the shelving out, or maybe people have vandalized it because the poles are kind of hanging like that. Lots of storage though. And of course there's a secondary attic there. I'm assuming that space is probably less used. This wallpaper is actually silk, or possibly, I think it's silk because of the way it's reflecting the light. That's something you would have seen that would have been very common when this house was built. Let's check out this area first. So over here we got a bathroom. And this is a strange one, guys, because it's carpeted. I mean, I'm not a fan of carpeted bathrooms. I think that's quite gross, especially around the toilet. But here we are. A rich house with a carpeted bathroom. Oh, wow. And it's got a really big walk-in closet, too. Lots of stuff in here. It's all garbage, obviously. Crazy. Lots of garbage. Looks like someone was eating takeout food in here, so I don't know how that got here. It's definitely not homeless people. That's for sure. As we go out here, we'll look at the tub area last. Over here, you got a closet, I'm assuming. Yep, more closet space. Beautiful window again, the bathroom. The trees are very overgrown. Blocking this one mostly now, but beautiful arched window. Of course, there's another closet. You got another Amazon delivery box, and you got a piece of wood on the floor. I'm not sure why. But even these curtains, all this is still original to when they built the house. Got a couple more of those square brass lights. And of course, as I pan down, you got the mirror here. And you've got this vanity. And the countertop's faux. It's not real wood, but it's got the wood grain countertop, which is very unusual. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And again, they got another shelf. Well, that's a shelving unit on the door, which is cool. I've never seen that before. But again, all the hinges are the same. So all this stuff goes right back to when they built the house for sure now. There's no doubt about it. Copper thieves haven't been here, and there's more shelving there. Quite an interesting bathroom, though. I don't like the countertop, but it's unusual, is what I meant to say. Look at that. They even have a mirrored switch outlet cover there. All right, so we turn this way, and this takes us back towards the room entry. But before we do that, let's take a look at this tub. It's a big jacuzzi. I like that faucet on it. That's really nice. But this is just strange. I mean, the carpet in this room doesn't make any sense to me. Again, this area even has its own windows. One of the best things about this house is the amount of windows and natural light that get into it from all angles. Got another expensive heater there on the wall. But look at that, the toilet. It's sitting on carpet. And if you look at the base, there's actually stains. That just seems like the worst idea ever to me. I don't know why you would do that. And by the way, the toilet's clean, so the brown bomber wasn't here. But this is a really nice tub. It's a little bit longer than usual. It could be a little deeper in my opinion, but I like the length of it, so you could definitely lay down and have lots of room to relax. And it's got a little privacy wall when you enter the room. But you know, you don't get much privacy if someone decides to sit there. And as we turn here, we have a nice walk-in shower. This is much bigger than the one in the other room we saw. This one's got a light in it, so it's a little bit higher end. But you know, you can see the tiling is very 80s. And so is the Moen faucet set and everything like that. Very much stuck in time. And of course the marble trim there, very common from that time too. All right, so we'll go back this way and this will take us back to the bedroom. So from here, oh, stepping on everything, there's garbage everywhere. So that takes us back to the hallway. That's the closet we saw. It's a very crooked intercom. And this has to be the master bedroom. It's also a very large room. Of course, you can see that wallpaper runs throughout the entire room. It's a giant space, absolutely huge. You can see the headboard marks on the wall there, so the bed would have been over here. You've got switches for each outlet on the wall, so both people that are in this room could turn their night light or their night table light off if they wanted to. And this room also features a lot of beautiful windows. You got two large windows on the front facing wall, and you got another one there. And as you look around, you got a lot of boxes. There's not too much stuff that's actually left behind in this case, except for the empty box of chocolates. But yeah, there's not a whole lot left behind. This room is mostly empty. But you can see even the carpet, everything in this room pretty much is stuck in 1987, 1988. You know, that's what it all looks like. The color of the flooring, the wallpaper choices, everything about this has been untouched since the beginning, basically. That's interesting. You could have actually had a bed. As I was saying, over here could have been where the bed is. It would make less sense here. They probably had like a dresser or something. But you have two outlets on the wall. You could have actually had the bed either way if you wanted. But by doing so, you'd block that. So over here, this is strange. There's another bathroom. So this master bedroom, this is crazy. So these people must have had so much money that they had his and hers bathrooms, because that in the entryway to the bedroom is a bathroom there. And you go over here and you've got another bathroom. Now this is a smaller tub than the one we were just in. It's about just as deep, but this is definitely a smaller tub, so you wouldn't be able to lay down as much. You'd have to sit up. But it's, you know, perched up on a marble perch. I don't know what else to call it. It's all marble, and it's very 80s looking. And again, the strangeness of having carpet in the bedroom or in the bathroom continues in here. And there's also a toilet over here, and this one's really gross. This one's super moldy. Look how moldy the seat is, the inside of the cover and the seat itself, and it's just disgusting. And it's probably because the toilet was always closed. But yeah, my biggest complaint about the carpet is you can see the pee stains in the carpet. The wallpaper in this room is different. It's floral, it's colorful. It's very 80s and I don't really like it, but it is what it is. And this might have been the woman's room because this one has the vanity light. This was probably her bathroom, because you got the vanity light there to do your makeup and everything. It's got a massive mirror. It's got a really nice stone countertop, granite countertop. I'm willing to bet the granite countertops in this house are probably from the 90s, and they just made use of the existing cabinetry, because you can see this also has the same cabinets that were in the other bathrooms with the vinyl coverings. Very similar, but obviously they, you know, fancied it up with the beautiful marble or granite countertop. And of course, even this bathroom, there's no shortness of windows. You got nice triple window here looking at the big backyard we were out in earlier. You got another heater in the wall there. And you've got a nice double window looking out at the side yard there. Another interesting purple chair. We've seen a couple of these now in the house. Pretty sure those were old pieces. Of course, we got a really big walk-in closet here too. Huge closet. Obviously, they took some of the shelving out, but you got the hanging rack there. You could have had shelving here. And of course, you have your cubbies and all that and your drawers over here. So lots of storage. Really nice closets, if you ask me. They're really big. Wow. What's that? DVR, black box offer. That's one of those IPTV, the illegal IPTV boxes. Interesting. You live in a house like this, you still got to get the illegal IPTV. All right, so I think that's going to wrap upstairs up. I think we've covered every square inch of both halves of upstairs. So why don't we work our way downstairs and we'll wrap this video up. Crazy house, and it's just unbelievable. I hope you guys are really enjoying this one. It's one of the more interesting places we've ever seen. So let's work our way to the basement now. Try to show you guys this window that goes through the floor there. Of course, we'll come up the other stairs from the basement to end the video. So from here, we're back to the main hallway. We started down there, and we've been over here. So from here, we got nowhere to go but down. So here we go. And yeah, you can see right there, that's the bottom of that massive window. So it kind of comes through the landing on the stairs to light up this part of the stairs going to the basement, which is very cool. Stinks really bad down here. We already know it's moldy. Let's get into this. All right, so they have a landing to the basement here. You got a tile floor, and you can see there's mold stains everywhere. It's got the same wallpaper as the hallway upstairs. So they've continued a lot of themes throughout this house, which is quite neat. They also have an alarm panel there, so you can leave and arm the alarm. But I'll just show you this view from here. You got the beautiful banister going up to the base of that beautiful window there. And of course, you can see it all the way through up there. So behind me then, I'm going to presume this is the exit to the garage. Yes, it is. Now, we were already out here earlier. I did have the light off, so I'll just kind of show you once again. Didn't really get a good look in here, but this was another furnace room. It's much easier to see it with the light on, isn't it? It looks like they had a water heater out here at one point, and they had some storage. And of course, they had another circuit breaker there. And all this stuff we kind of showed you already. You got that desk, you got those barber's chairs, you got the wedding stuff. A lot of stuff in this garage. It's kind of interesting. So this house has many ways in, which is quite neat. You could, drive into the garage and go straight into the house. We'll find out what that door is later. I'm sure that goes to the basement as well. So let's go back in. So yeah, this is how you would enter the house normally from the basement. And from here, you could just walk your way up to the main floor. Surprisingly, there's no closet down here. But they did have a shoe rack. You can see the shoes are getting quite moldy. And there's lots of shoes left behind here too. There's actually quite a lot of their belongings left, which is unusual. That is, I don't know what that is. It's like a toaster oven maybe. Hot kagi. Under here, we just got storage. It's funny that they drywalled the ends when it's just cinder block. And then we go to this area here. Okay, so this might have been the entertainment area. Maybe the kids had their games down here. You can see they have like the remnants of a foosball table there. You got some like dining room table chairs and everything left behind. But the flooring in here is not finished. You got the tile coming into this room, and then there's nothing. I don't believe they removed anything from the floor. There's no signs of anything actually. Actually, yes, there is. As I'm saying that, you can see the baseboard there is elevated at least ½ centimeter to a centimeter off the floor. So they might have had laminate flooring or carpet down here at one point in time. So I'm going to correct myself now. There was something on the floor. Oh, probably this. As I'm trying to figure it out, yeah, they had carpet like this. And that's just been mostly removed. But you can see there's a lot of stuff left behind here. Looks like the Christmas stuff is left behind. Gold sprayed glitter pears. Yeah, so they left their decorations and whatnot left behind. Christmas lights, chairs. That's empty, so we won't even open it. There was actually one upstairs too, but I forgot to look. You have glass shelving there for, displaying things. But you can see this place has had some water damage. Or somebody might have torn this down actually, but it looks like no one stole anything, so I'm assuming this might be water damage. You can see there's water damage there clearly. The paint is latex, so it's kind of just peeling off in sheets. And you've got lots of mold building up there. Another sign of water damage. It really is shocking to see a place this big and beautiful sitting in this state of decay. Like, I'm quite shocked. A house like this should have been taken care of right to the end. That's a very interesting old looking table. I wouldn't be surprised if that's from the 50s or 60s or something like that and they just left it behind. You got an old pizza box there. Is there anything in this chest? No. It seems to be hard to open, but it's empty, so I'm not going to bother. So they also have a fireplace down here. And this would have run up the same chimney as the one upstairs. And it's very similar. It's a nice fireplace. You've got the marble work around the opening, and you've got some woodwork going around that. I think this might be faux. This is real. This stuff, I'm not sure. Still, it looks quite nice, especially for a basement room. So from here, we can either go this direction or this direction. I think we'll go this way first. So look at all these chairs. I don't know if these are outside chairs. They look like outside chairs to me, but we've seen a few of them now. I know there was a stool like that in the kitchen too. So as we go over here, this is like the entertainment area of the basement, I guess, or maybe another hangout area. They got a very interesting back wall here. It's all stone, but there's no fireplace, so it's just like an accent wall of stone. And I believe that to be real stone. We saw some of that upstairs in the attic. As I turn around, it's just kind of like a big empty space now, but this could have been, like a rec room or a TV room for the kids and their friends to hang out. Got a very interesting chair left behind. Kind of surprising to see that here. And as you pan around, you got some hockey stuff here. These are like, that's a coach board. That's what I was going to say. It's like a playbook board. But that maybe there was a coach or something that lived here at one point. And again, you got more of that original barnwood that we saw in the attic. You got one beam of it down here. So very strange use of that wood in this house, I gotta say. As you look around the perimeter here, you can see the walls are quite moldy. You've got black mold and you got all sorts of mold spotting through above it. These walls are the only clean ones over here, really. Wow. As you look over here, there's even a hockey puck on the floor. So if you go this way, well, that's a thick wall. It's like a foot thick. Go through this very moldy looking door. And this is another furnace room. So there's at least 2 furnaces in this house. Actually, there's 3 because there's one in the garage, there's one down here, and there's one upstairs. Water's coming through the vents. Oh, look. Another wood beam that's probably been salvaged from somewhere. You can see there would have been a joist or something going into that. Sitting on a huge stone. And this styrofoam's collecting all the water leaking through the house. Lovely. So there's a lot of stuff in storage down here. Won't go rooting through it though. I mean, you got like nails and, just odd things, light bulbs or whatever. Looks like an 80s furnace based off of the dehydrator that's on it, or the humidifier, I should say. Dehydrator. Sometimes I say the wrong things. I apologize. Yeah, they got lots of storage in here, but not much actually left behind. Of course, these are definitely exterior walls with the cinder block. As we turn around, just weird things like wood. Like, what are those here for? You got stumps of wood. A couple chairs behind the furnace, which is actually quite rusty inside. Of course, they got something like, that's like a clothesline. This is actually a genius way to do it. I do the same thing. I use my furnace room to dry my clothes when I'm in a hurry. This will be dry air in here, so you just hang them by the furnace to be dry overnight at the most. So going this way, we find ourselves in another hallway here, and we got a skin of something. I don't know what that is. I don't know. It's definitely the skin of an animal, though. So, okay, so here we got like a closet. Some stuff in it. Over here, oh, this is an interesting room. It's like a laundry room. Look at the doors. So these are salvage too. This is salvage barnwood for sure. That's awesome. I mean, the salvage wood has been used in very weird ways in this house. But those are beautiful sliding doors. I really like those. And they should be somewhere where people would enjoy them, not in the basement where nobody goes. Even that pillar. Yeah, this is like a closet here. They used to store stuff. Nothing really crazy. Over here you got like a sink. It's almost like a bar sink. You got your paper towel and everything. But here's another wall that's actually stone. Unfortunately, you got a bed sitting against it, so you don't see very much of it. But that's another interior stone wall, which is very nice. And if you look up under there, well, the flooring looks like old barnwood too. It's very strange. Very, very strange. And you go look this way, even this wall. Look at the paneling. Wow. So all the paneling on these walls is actually salvaged barnwood, which is incredible. I absolutely love this. It's very rustic looking, but it's very cool. It's very, very cool. Durward, Audrey, Warren, Gas. So I guess everybody had their own storage shelf down here. Of course, as you look at the wallpaper here, that's very 80s looking as well. Of course, you got the beautiful paneling around this door. And they got like a wainscoting made from the wood paneling that's salvaged too. Like, this is really cool. And I guarantee you this goes to the garage. Yeah. So you come out here, there's the vacuum again, and there's the door that we came in and out of before. So this is the door I was going to show you guys anyways. And of course that has the knocker I showed you at the start of the video. So you can come into the basement from two different angles, which is quite neat. I guess depending which way you'd want to go or what you have, you know, would determine which way. This area here has a closet. So I guess if you had stuff to hang or put in here, this is where you would go. If you just wanted to go upstairs, you'd go the other way. So from here, we go back into the basement. It looks like we've got a couple different ways to go from here. That looks to be the last room we'll do because these stairs will go upstairs. So we'll do that last. Let's work our way into this room. So this is a storage room, again. And this room also makes use of all that plank that would have been salvaged. Beautiful. It's got another interior stone wall, which is amazing. And they've got tons of glass shelving in here, which they use to probably store items and just kind of organize the place. But now the room is just filled with chairs, probably from the dining room and from the kitchen and from various areas of the house. And all this stuff has been forgotten. And look at these things back here. You got some vintage chairs from the 60s or 70s sitting against the glass shelves. Also got some car seats for some young kids. And if you go over here, look at that. They got a beautiful salvage door. And that's, oh, they strapped it onto a real door. But still, that's pretty cool. Looks really neat. This room will look neat closed. And you got like a cold room or another storage room here. I can't get in because it's blocked. But you got the water heater still left behind. You've got beautiful stone walls again. I don't know if those are actually foundation walls or if they were just done like that to look cool. And there's just shelving behind the door from what I can see through the crack. So there's lots of storage. This is like a storage area of the house. They got their LED lamps, all the boxes or everything left behind here. So we come back out. And go to the moldy hallway. Look at the ceiling. It's absolutely disgusting. This basement's absolutely getting trashed by the mold. And from here, looks like we got the electrical room, which is really, this is a cool room. This is like a workshop electrical room. Look at all the pegboard. You guys know I love pegboard. You can add your tools and everything organized. You got a great workbench here, running the length of the room almost. Really good stuff. We got a couple of receivers for TV here. probably for FTA. You know, another circuit breaker, and you've got all sorts of different shutoffs for the furnace, and there's a disconnect for the upstairs circuit breaker. Really incredible. And even here they have a phone line box. There's so many phone lines, they have their own box. Of course, here they got a table someone made. This is like another work table. Someone slapped that together. It's very Italian style. Sorry guys, I grew up with Italians. That's what they would do. Of course, along the wall here, you've just got more storage. House has tons of storage. Looks like they had a ton of stuff though, so it makes sense. And I like this wall unit of cubbies. That'd be very handy for guys that are working on stuff. There's a microwave there, possibly from the kitchen at one point in time. Look at this. This is the main power disconnect for the house. This is absolutely huge. This looks like this should be in an arena or some kind of a venue. Like, it's unbelievable something like this is in someone's house. Oh, look, they had a Kinder Egg toy. It's empty. Okay, so what do we got here? Oh, by the way, another stone wall. But to answer the question I had before, these are not foundation walls. It's cinder block, and it looks like they either left openings to put the stone in, or they kind of just attached it to it, which laminated it to it. But it's real stone. It's actually real. Very neat. It's amazing that they put that kind of effort into a room that no one would ever see. And in here, this is a storage room once again. Looks like they had a desk down here too. There must have been a pizza party here because there's pizza boxes everywhere. Someone had a 94 Civic. That's a repair manual there. But yeah, this is just like a storage area. It would have had their trees and, you know, various items. Not a whole lot to see down here. Just kind of remnants of Christmas decorations and golf stuff and empty boxes. But still, it's very cool. There's an actual toaster oven there. But yeah, this is interesting. This house has a lot of storage. It's a huge house. The basement seems a little smaller than the main floor, and so did upstairs, but it's the way they broke the house up, really. But quite an incredible place. And again, you got another solid steel, like fireproof door to go to this storage room. All right, so let's work our way to the final area we got to see, and let's wrap this one up. So from here, this is the furnace room, which we came to this area from. So let's work our way over here, see what we got. Look at that. Got a ballerina on the floor. So many random items here. Look at the ceiling, how gross it is. Yeah, this is why it stinks down here. You would have pulled this drywall down, it's completely black on the other side for sure. So you come down here, it looks like you got a couple more rooms. Got a powder room for the basement here. And so you got very 80s looking cabinet again. This is one of the lower ones. This matches the laundry room basically. The toilet, we gotta know. No turds in that one. But again, you got similar wallpaper we've seen in other areas of the house. Not really a surprise. There's mold coming through. I don't know if you guys can see it. Of course, you have like a Home Depot mirror. But look at that clamshell sink on the countertop. That's obviously from when they built the place too. Very interesting faucet. But look at the mold. It's so gross. It's on the top of the door jamb. It's everywhere. It's like dripping down there. Okay, and this takes us back out to this room here. Okay. Well, on that note, we've pretty much seen every inch of the house. Hope you guys enjoyed coming on this adventure with me. If you did, please make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment about things you saw or that I pointed out that are wrong. And of course, share the video out to help this one grow. Why don't we work our stairs up and finish off the last few inches of this one. So these stairs are the last thing we didn't see. These will bring us up to the main floor by the kitchen. And there we go. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed coming on this tour with me. This one was a real pleasure to share with you guys. All right, guys, That's all the time we have for today's adventure. I hope you guys enjoyed coming on this one with me. This was an absolutely amazing experience taking you guys through this mansion that was built way back in 1987, and unfortunately has been now sitting abandoned for at least 2 or 3 years since being bought by developers to redevelop this entire area. As you guys could see, this was a house that was well taken care of and well loved at one point in time, with tons of incredible features, from this incredible weight room here to that kitchen that we saw earlier, to the incredible woodwork that we seen in the basement and all the original beams that seemed to be borrowed from a barn. This place was just absolutely filled with tons of unique features that will unfortunately see their demise one day soon. If you guys enjoyed coming on this adventure with me, please make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment afterwards about something you saw or something I got wrong in the video, and of course, share it out to help the channel and the video grow. Well, that's all the time we have for this one. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button over there if you haven't already. Check out last week's video there, and check out the random video there. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in.